Good morning. It is 6:41 a.m. on Tuesday, July 7th, 2020. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. So, I'll confess that with the plan of going back into the office yesterday, there was a part of me that was worried about Rocket just because, it's like he'd been used to having me there home all the time. And, even though we had since I had him, there have been periods where I was going into work every day and only coming home at lunch or having a neighbor check on him over lunch, and it was fine then. But we hadn't done that in a little while, and what if it was different now? And you know what? It was fine. So yeah, he barked a little bit as I left, but then calmed down and mostly just slept until I came home. So it was like, yeah. Left him a rawhide chew to you know, to occupy him, and yeah, it went fine. So it's just as well, it's because in theory there might eventually come a time where we return to some semblance of normal. I mean, I'm not sure when or where that's going to happen, but yeah, boy, it's I'm not going to make this whole video just about coronavirus, but it is just one of those frustrating things where it just right? I mean, right? You know what? I'm going to just go ahead and leave it there because I don't think I'll come up with words that are as evocative as just making that face. So in the meantime, I'm looking forward to tonight's so many levels because we're going to have a big combat for the first time in a little while. Um, sometimes as a dungeon master in a long campaign, you're trying to balance the various elements of the game that people like. And, some people like the crunchy combat, some people like the role play more. And, but I think, most everybody likes a little bit of lots of pieces of it. And so because the heroes of legend in that campaign have, of late, been wandering around in a time-stopped universe where nothing happens unless they unfreeze it, hasn't been a lot of opportunity for combat. But they've made an agreement to go and try to take out an enormously powerful devil creature, and in order to, like as sort of a trade for uh, modifying a different contract and saving some of their family members. And so, yeah, it's pretty good. But what it means is that this is, very high level D&D, and I don't necessarily mean in quality, although I certainly hope so. But I mean all of the players are level 20. It's a 7-player party, and I'm going to be putting them up against a slightly modified version of one of the most powerful creatures in the game. The character they're fighting in the game is loosely based on Tiamat, which in Dungeons and Dragons, all creatures that you might fight are given a rating of, a numerical rating called the challenge rating. And this one is the highest of all of the ones that they've made. But then again, the math is actually on their side. It's interesting just how that kind of turns out. But yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm interested to see how it plays out, because in particular, one player has some slightly unconventional magic items that we'll see how that goes. And also the players have some alternate victory conditions, like just standard defeat is not required of them. All they really need to do is take this creature who is currently not in their home dimension and make it return to its home dimension. But it doesn't want to, but it just means that, like, if they can force it to do so in any way other than just destroying it, that counts. So we'll see how that goes. I'm excited to see how that happens. If you haven't watched so many levels before, we're going to be streaming live on Twitch tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. But then the video and audio versions go up later. So go ahead and leave it there, and I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.